Assalamualaikum, Namaskar, and welcome to 100 Hours, 100 Stars. This is a tribute to the COVID-19 Warriors, a fundraising initiative by HT Media. And today joining me is someone who is very, very special to Chennai, someone who I truly look up to and admire. Really, Chennai oda paiyen appadinu sonna, definitely I think he fits into that bracket. India's very own pride, legendary cricketer, Ashwin Ravichandran. Hi Ashwin, how are you doing? Thank you so much for being a part of this initiative.
Hi Shruthi, it's a pleasure to be here. Obviously, we are doing it for the larger cause, so I take a lot of pride in it. So most importantly, where we are sitting right now is quite frustrating because we've been locked indoors for a while now. But I mean, we all, even if we didn't expect what state of mind we might have been at this stage, it was very, very important that we locked ourselves down and fought this war against the virus. And I don't know if it's going to be over soon enough, but even if it is not, I think we all should have the resolve to keep fighting on until the race of humanity wins.
Absolutely, spoken like a true cricketer, and I think that's what it's all about. We're all in this together, and keeping that in mind, I think is very, very important, which is one of the reasons why we're doing this digital fest, so that we want to let everybody know that whoever it is, we're all in this together and we're doing it for the greater good. On that note, obviously there are a lot of questions that I want to ask you, lots of fun. I want to see the other side of Ashwin, not the one that's on the cricket field, but someone who is a dad, someone who is a father. All of these things I am going to be exploring today in this interview. But before that, obviously, once this pandemic was sort of announced, the lockdown was sort of announced, there's been a big routine change for all of us, right? So tell us a little bit about that. What sort of preparations or precautions did you take as a family?
Look, when the pandemic was getting around, there was quite a bit of awareness from my wife's side, and in fact, as the pandemic was getting around to different parts of the world, we were in New Zealand, touring New Zealand for a cricket tour, and my wife had already taken precautions when she sent me off from here in February. She had given me a mask and given me sanitizers and told me that I shouldn't be, need to use things carefully. There was a bit of awareness about how you should wash your hands and all that. So initially, when I landed in New Zealand, quite funnily, I had this sort of a sore throat. I was having a bit of a cold and all that. So it was quite scary, but jet lags can do that. So I was waiting for a couple of days and it just got fine. When I came back again, I was playing a few games, club games and all that. But by then, Preeti and the kids and my mom and dad, they had locked themselves down in the house. So to say, as my games were getting over, they were pretty much locked down in the house.
Right.
And we immediately got together and said, okay, in a day or two, we decided if we can manage everything, because we've got, quite a few spaces in the house which needs attention from people, which needs extra hands. We have 3 pets who need to be taken care of as well. So the cars, etc., etc. We have quite a few people working in the house, so we needed to look after them first. So we were thinking, what should we do? Should we basically lock them along with us inside the house, or should we send them home? And then we decided locking so many people in the house would require a lot of other stuff, and we decided to send everybody on leave, and people left first. We are managing most of the things. One of our helpers actually from Nepal, so he couldn't go back, and he stays with us. And pretty much one of us started going out and said, okay, we will not. Whoever is going out will not come into the other person's contact for the early part of the days. And then obviously, as things got better, we got apps and people delivering in the house. One great thing is about vegetables, where we've got a roof garden where we can grow our own vegetables. So it's pretty much supplying for what we need to eat inside the house.
Right.
But beyond this, I mean, you can only take so many precautions. We do get some provisions coming in. So my mom sits and uses the antiseptic and clears things off. There is a lot of effort that needs to go into it, but I think if we have to look after our dear ones, I think we do have to take these precautions ourselves. And you don't want to see your dear ones suffering because of you. It's quite nasty as an emotion.
I understand, and I think that's the most rightful, the way most people are doing it. I think that's just the right way to go about it. And when you mentioned the roof garden, this is something that I definitely want to ask you about, because I know that as a family, you do a lot of things together, the wife and the kids. And I know that you are also very actively involved with this garden in some sort of scope. So tell us a little bit about that. Have you picked up a new habit or something?
No, I mean, we picked up a habit of actually doing some training together for starters.
Oh.
So we've got a small gym workplace, and that is pretty much adjoined to the roof garden that we've got.
Okay.
We share our deals. Like if she's like really tired, I water the entire thing up, and it's basically about watering. And then you need to obviously look after these weeds that are growing,
Right.
and we try and make sure that we water it at the right times. We've got a neighbor who's also
Okay.
got a terrace garden, so he gives us great inputs on what needs to be done and what doesn't need to happen. I leave the wisdom of it to Preeti, but obviously the workings of it is something that I give a hand with. Uh, we,
Right.
we we've realized that we can do a lot of things together inside the house and not get bored of each other, which we haven't realized over the years. I'm saying in general, we as in we live with our parents, and we've never got to spend so much time under the same roof, despite being under the same roof. So we like wash clothes together, like hang them dry in the terrace together. It builds up lovely conversations, and one of those things that we don't miss at all is our 1 or 2 hours of time in the terrace. No, so
Right.
we sit around the roof garden. The kids are playing. They use their cycles, and we're sitting and chit chatting. I mean, it's. I know that things outside are tough. A lot of people are struggling for daily amenities and essentials. But these are things at a much more sensitive level where we are far more blessed to have
Right.
what we have, and to actually count those blessings and see what we need to do is a far better place to be.
Absolutely, very rightly said. And I think we really need to be thankful and grateful. And most people are sort of realizing that at this point that things could have gotten a lot worse. But this time that we are getting to be able to spend with family and everybody else that we love, even though it's virtual, I think you're not going to get it back. Maybe at some point we might look back and say, "Hey, I really miss the quarantine days just for the time that we had." Right. So another question that I obviously wanted to ask you, Ashwin, there's been a lot of change in terms of your routine as well, right? I know that through your foundation and also through the coaching classes that you take through Gen Next. Now everything has made a paradigm shift. It's doing everything virtually. So tell us a little bit about how you're handling the coaching classes.
Look, like I said, I'm responsible for a lot of people, and I take it very, very personally. Over the years, in some way or the other, we've garnered so many families. My mom has been running a business entity for a while as well. She's got her own company, and Gen Next is something that's very dear to me. And we're also running a couple of other organizations where we're literally looking after about 60 to 70 families on our own. So it's very important that we stand up at this right point of time and see what we can do. Because looking at where we stand, a lot of people. We of course you said that the quarantine days will be missed by some of them, but these are going to be quite drastic times for a lot of other people. So if we think the storm is blown past or it'll get better in the near future, it's nowhere close, because at the end of it, you will find a lot of people struggling for employment. There will be a lot of sad state of affairs that might rise up. So I think I am really bracing myself up for it and keeping myself open. And in fact, I'm even thinking having a clear slate. One of those greatest achievements that you can have in this quarantine period is to have a clean slate of your mind and
Right.
think once it's all done, you might be presented with an opportunity to be something that you can be that you never imagined you could be. Maybe something completely left field. Everybody might have to pick up something else as a career. You don't know. So
Right.
somebody might be into construction or whatever it is that might render them to move on to another field. So there is going to be a requirement of mass movement or a help for all these sort of people, not just in terms of livelihood, but also giving them a career pathway. So I feel it's not just physical or monetary or anything. It's also a lot to do with mental. So our academy or our foundation is definitely activated in the direction where we are taking complete responsibility for all the families that have been with us for over the years. And that's one of the reasons I thought virtual is a great opportunity.
Right.
Going virtual, it's pretty nascent, it's pretty young, but we are giving it a shot, and it's going all right. It's doing pretty well.
Fantastic. And I know that a lot of people, like you said, are benefiting from it at this point. And probably virtual and digital is the way to go, which also is one of the reasons why HD Media decided to take up this initiative of Digital Fest and featuring all of you wonderful, amazing stars as a sort of way to give back to the COVID warriors. This is a fundraising initiative, like I told you earlier, where we have a QR code that's being placed below this video where people can scan it and donate. So your thoughts on that, Mr. Ashwin, if you could.
So, like, like the moment this pandemic hit, there have been a lot of people, a lot of wonderful, souls who come forward and donated generously. And for me, I look at it very differently. It needs to be spaced out very carefully here because you don't want to throw everything in at the same time and you don't have something as a reservoir at the backdrop. Like I said, a lot of people will need help when this cloud clears up. So for me, how much ever that comes in will be utilized all right, I think, because there will be a requirement. We are a country of a billion people. So whoever is watching this, please try and donate as much as you can. There is a QR code that's hanging in front of you on the screen. So go ahead and do it. Even if it's a rupee, it's great enough. I think it'll mean food on the plate for someone else.
Absolutely, definitely. Thank you so much for being a part of this, and it's a very, very huge honor for especially the South, for especially Chennai, that you decided to do this and be a part of 100 Hours, 100 Stars. So we've spoken a lot about how you decided to go the virtual route. Very a serious and a wishing girl we've spoken. I want to ask you a question. This was actually sent to me secretly by Preeti. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, and we're going to see if you have the right answer for it. Okay, so Preeti's question to you was, which is Preeti's favorite cricket ground outside of India?
Okay. I'm thinking she's told me on a few occasions. Starting to, it has to be in England. So, England, Australia. No, it's in Australia maybe. I think a favorite ground might be the MCG.
100 marks to you. You've been the perfect husband. You've actually gotten that correctly. MCG Melbourne is what she said. But she also sent in another question, okay? The other question is, which was the first test match that each of your girls attended? Do you remember which one?
Each of the girls. Okay, that's interesting now. Okay, I think it is a test match in Sri Lanka, and it could have been my 50th test match.
Can you be a little specific? Maybe just tell us against who you were probably playing?
Against Sri Lanka?
No.
So surprised.
Okay, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you because Akira apparently saw India versus South Africa in Delhi, and Adya saw India versus Australia in Dharamshala.
Okay, I thought both of them watching it together. So that was in... Okay.
Okay. So it's okay. At least you sort of knew what the thing was. So I think that's probably... Preeti, we're going to give it to him. We're going to give him the marks anyway. Another question that actually an audience member had sent in to us when we had told them that, you were going to be a part of this was in most cricketers' lives, especially when it comes to bowling, right? There will be a moment in their career or in a particular match where you become the game changer. You could have been the man of the match. You could have been the man of the series. Do you take back any, souvenirs from that match, like the ball that you bowled, like a hat trick or a 5-wicket haul? Is there something like that?
Every time I get a 5-wicket, all the balls in my house, it's safely in the cupboard. It's stuck away. So and every time I make an impactful performance, I take the stump at the end of the game as well. So I've got a lot of souvenirs in the house. So that's something. You've got 6 stumps in the game, and you've got 2 to 3 balls or maybe 4 balls in the match that you can use. So I try and take everything at the end of the game. I played about 71 tests, and I think I would have collected close to a 60 souvenirs. So that tells a story. So yeah.
Wow, that is an impressive story. So probably do we see a book in the future?
Why not?
Okay, that will be something that we will definitely, as cricket fans, be looking forward to. So now moving on to the fun part of the interview, okay? So I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions. This game is called as Name 3. Okay, so I will tell you a question and you'll have to answer 3 things. Okay, so we'll start off with a sample one. 3 favorite places in Chennai.
3 favorite places in Chennai. Chepauk Cricket Stadium. 1. IIT Kemplast Cricket Ground. 2. my life centered around cricket grounds, clearly. And PSBB Kegenaga, my school.
Wow, that's a very interesting mix. I was actually thinking it's going to be something else, but we'll get back to that. Your favorite 3 cricketing moments, ODI, Test, T20?
T20, the ball I bowled to Hashim Amla to get him bowled in Dhaka. One-day cricket, Champions Trophy victory in 2013.
Right.
One-day cricket, that's one-day cricket.
Yes, Test.
Test cricket is... What am I thinking for? I don't know if I have to pick a moment or a game. Um,
Yeah, anything.
so I would think the man of the series that I got in West Indies, the away series, man of the series in West
Right.
Indies, something that's very.
Okay, superb. I'm sure all of the fans are noting it down and going back and looking at the videos. Three favorite countries that you've visited so far. It need not be necessarily for a game.
Yeah, England, Switzerland, and Chennai.
Anything that you particularly want to tell us, maybe any funny incident?
India, to be precise.
Okay, right. Three things that people don't know about you.
I'm sort of very 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 fun loving sort of a person. I can just look at the fun side of the most serious things that are happening around. I'm very free spirited in looking at anything that goes wrong or anything to think that there is a good at the end of it. And one of my favorite quotes that I have written it myself is only people inside the tunnel who believe that they will see the light will live to see the end of the tunnel. So that's something that I believe in, and it's so pertinent at this point of time. And finally, you know, I'm a sort of very, very, very free moving person in terms of being like a bird all through my life, in the sense that I shouldn't have any hang-ups about what's happening in life. I'll just keep moving on. If yesterday was a bad day, it was a bad day, and that's it. I'll just keep moving on. It doesn't matter whether it's an opportunity, it's a person, it's whatever it is. I just believe in moving on without any grudges, and I will never hold people back for anything. And in fact, I would have forgotten what they'd done to me, even if it was the worst of things, and just get on with life, because I don't think there is too much time to harp upon what somebody else has done to you. Maybe if you can learn from it and get richer, that's probably the best gift they've given you.
Wow, that's a very profound and deep thought. I've always thought of you as someone who has these deep intentions. But when you said that, it truly, I think, makes a lot of difference to the people who are listening now. If somebody's going through something hard, I think it will definitely remind them that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you so much for that. And the next question that I have, three parenting tips that you would like to share.
Patience, patience, and patience.
Those are three words, Ashwin. Come on, I know you can do better.
Okay, I think you need to be. Having said that, in a very light note, I think your patience is very very important to be a parent. I see my. I live in the house with my parents, and I see my father, and I see the way my wife treats the kids, even when they go to an extent of being extremely naughty and extremely pestering. They handle it with utmost, ease, and they just give it to them, and I hand it over to them. There are times when I actually feel, oh my God, this is too much of a tantrum, and and they need to be like told that they cannot do it, but they will deal with it with utmost care and deal with it with so much strategy. And I wonder if strategy in parenting is so important in those times, but it is. I think it is, because they have a point at the end of it. So I think patience is very important for parenting. Having the right roadmap for your children, not in terms of what or who they should become, but I think you should give them a roadmap of trying to express themselves, trying to give them opportunities to be able to allow them to discover themselves. So I don't want my child to be anything. I want her to just grow up and understand that if she likes something, her parents will allow her to do it. And probably I will just give her the pros and cons, which I'm always going to be doing, because that's how I lived my life. And I think it's very important for one to know the pros and cons. And finally, I believe that for children of the modern generation, or this generation, I feel I'm already old because of how quickly things are evolving. No, that's true. Things are evolving. It's very difficult to match a 5-year age gap now. It's
Right.
things are moving that fast. So I think it's important for children to be able to understand nature. For me, the best gift that you can give your children right now is to allow them to understand nature. I think about 10, 15 years, in the last 10 to 15 years, or maybe even 20, we haven't even understood the importance of how the food comes to our plate.
Right.
As it's become a matter of fact, saying, okay, it is something, it's some sort of a sense of entitlement, but there is so much work into it. The farmers put the work into it. There is transportation. There is the effort of your parents to spend the money and buy it. So I think we should teach them how you should be in cognizance with nature, because I think whatever we are facing through and whatever we are doing today is because we have not appreciated nature enough of how much it's given us. So I think these are the three gifts and three things that I would like to bring my daughters up with.
Very nice, very well put. Another question that I have here, very simple stuff. 3 words to describe your wife, Preeti.
My complete opposite.
Okay.
That's the opposite. She's good at all things that I'm bad at.
Okay.
And just a great life partner.
Wow. I think instead of 3 great words, I think you've used 3 sentences to describe your wife, and I think that's good.
I think she deserves it.
Absolutely. And I'm sure she's listening in also to the conversation. 3 rumors that you heard about yourself that you wish were true. Or 3 rumors that you heard and you were like, really? They're saying this about me?
I actually can't remember any of those rumors, to be honest, because if I find something that's not me or that's nasty towards me, I find a way to try and say it's not me. I either explain about it or I try and make sure that I will prove someone wrong. This is how I've lived my life. So I can't remember any of those thoughts. There is, because as a cricketer coming up in this country, and especially coming from where I come from, I faced a lot of criticism, and I faced more criticism than having good days. So it's just become a part of me, and I've just accepted it and embraced it.
Okay, fair enough. I think that's a very, well put answer. Another thing that I have to ask you is 3 favorite colleagues.
3 favorite colleagues. Okay. I might not get the order right, but I'm just telling you what comes in my mind. Cheteshwar Pujara.
Okay.
Where am I going again? How far ago? See, I think I'm someone, right? If I miss someone, I might find myself in the headlines for missing them. So that's the crazy part.
This is a fun.
I mean, everything is news. So anyway, another person is Shikhar Dhawan.
Yeah.
I enjoy his company. Who else? Then there was, he's not the trainer of the team anymore, the Indian team, but his name is Basu. I really enjoyed his company, and he's someone who really matches up to my wavelength. But if I've had to give another teammate of mine, then I will go with interesting conversations. Actually, Virat. He can have conversations. We quite strike a conversation about aliens to whatnot. So it's quite interesting.
Hey, wow. Hopefully, if maybe somebody else is interviewing Virat, we'll sort of ask him as well how interesting your alien conversations are. 3 words that you often keep saying during the course of the day, something that you often keep repeating. 3 words.
Actually, is a word that I use a lot.
Okay.
I talk about the subconscious mind a lot.
Okay.
That's too deep. And then I use no a lot to my kids.
That's the sort of answer that I was expecting, okay? Like if you'd ask me, I would be saying completely random things. I'd be saying Radio 1, I think, during the course of the day, because that's what I keep saying all the time, probably even in my sleep. The last question that I have for you, Ashwin, 3 words that you would use to describe yourself.
An open book, 1.
Okay.
Deep thinker.
Okay. I think you're thinking too deep for this 3rd word.
I don't know, because I'm too deep. I need to engulf everything into one word.
No, it's okay. I think we've, with the open book and the deep thinking, we sort of understand what sort of a fun personality that you are. We'll say honest, okay? And I think another word that would aptly describe you would be gentleman, because I've seen you on a lot of occasions off the field as well, especially when we met together for the Ashwin Foundation. And I think you've got your heart in the right place, and I think you're always making sure that everybody around you is comfortable, and you're always looking out for somebody. And I think that's a very, very, very true characteristic of a gentleman. I think maybe that would be a perfect word to describe you.
Okay, thank you. I'll take that.
All right. On that note, I definitely want to extend my most sincere gratitude and thanks to you for being a part of this initiative called as 100 Hours, 100 Stars. This, like I mentioned to you earlier, is an initiative by HT Media. It's a sort of tribute from our side to all of the COVID-19 warriors who are working day in and day out for us. And like I mentioned also, we're doing this as a fundraising event. So there's a QR code below at the bottom of the screen where you can scan. If you just scan it, you can click it, and then it'll take you where you can fill in all of the details and you can donate. So thank you once again, Mr. Ashwin, for being a part of this. It's been our absolute pleasure. I know I've taken a little bit out of your schedule today, and you've been so patient in answering all of my questions.
You know what? If you're saying that to someone, don't have to say it again, because every day is a Sunday for most of us now.
That is true, but hopefully, like you said, we'll be...
Time at your disposal, just time management that needs to be better. That's it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And hopefully that we'll, be seeing better days very, very, very soon. So once again, a big thank you. And if you would like to share anything to our listeners before we sign off.
See, from my side, I'd really like to thank all those frontline warriors who are fighting the battle for us. We are a country with so many people, but the resources aren't enough to be able to match up to so many people. We need to be a little sensible about it, and that's exactly what our government is doing for us. They are trying to buy time so that we are able to segregate people into different folks and give attention to them. So I request everybody to not spread rumors through their WhatsApp or whatever it is. Before they do that, please check if the data is right before you do that. So on and so forth. And finally, I feel extremely sorry for people who are struggling, who are at the other end of the spectrum. I feel extremely sorry, but once this lockdown is done, I'd make sure that I get to the deep ends of the roots and try and make sure I can contribute to them, which is most important as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you very much once again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ashwin Ravichandran joining us today, having a very, very, deep conversation with him. We really, I think, sort of described and, found out a very new side to you, something that we've not seen on the cricket field. Thank you once again, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. And you stay tuned to find out who is going to be our next celebrity on 100 Hours, 100 Stars. This is an initiative brought to you by HT Media. This is a tribute to all of the COVID-19 warriors. Thank you.
जब सारी दुनिया कर रही थी बकवास, तब फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज की शुरुआत करते हुए रेडियो पर जॉन इब्राहिम, गौतम गंभीर और वरुण धवन ने मिलकर ये कहा।
हाय, मैं हूँ गौतम गंभीर।
हाय, मैं हूँ वरुण धवन।
हाय, मैं हूँ जॉन इब्राहिम।
फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज के साथ मैं कहता हूँ बकवास बंद, बदलाव शुरू।
फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज का सबसे पहला इनिशिएटिव था नो MC, नो BC।
मैं जॉन इब्राहिम कहता हूँ।
मैं वरुण धवन भी ये वादा करता हूँ,
हम अपनी शहर की औरतों को जुबान से इज्जत देंगे,
यानी नो MC, नो BC।
उसके बाद मिशन तेजाब में कई एसिड अटैक विक्टिम्स की जिंदगी का रुख बदल दिया।
हाय, मैं हूँ आमिर खान और फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज एसिड अटैक विक्टिम्स को एक नई जिंदगी दे रहा है। मैं इसका स्वागत करता हूँ।
मिशन जुर्रत में देश के सारे पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट्स को एक साथ मिलकर कहा।
नमस्कार, मैं अमिताभ बच्चन बोल रहा हूँ। दिल्ली, बेंगलोर, कोलकाता और मुंबई पुलिस को बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं मैं देना चाह रहा हूँ। आप फीवर 104 FM मिशन जुर्रत का हिस्सा बने। ये बदलाव की बहुत बड़ी शुरुआत है और मेरी शुभकामनाएं आपके साथ।
जब कश्मीर में फ्लड्स आए, लाखों की तादाद में खाने पीने की सामग्री कश्मीर भिजवाई। हमारी इस कोशिश के लिए मिशन कश्मीर ने जीता गोवा फेस्ट में प्रेस्टिजियस एबी अवार्ड।
मैं और आप मिलकर फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज का अगला प्रोजेक्ट शुरू करते हैं, ब्लड बैंक 104। ब्लड बैंक 104। फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज के साथ मैं जॉन इब्राहिम ये वादा करता हूँ कि इस शहर में जब भी होगी खून की दरकार, तैयार रहेगा फीवर 104।
और फिर ट्रैफिक जैम की वजह से नहीं जाए कोई जान, उसके लिए हमने शुरू की अपनी मुहिम एम्बुलेंस फर्स्ट।
हाय, मैं हूँ जॉन इब्राहिम।
हाय, मैं हूँ गौतम गंभीर।
हाय, मैं वरुण धवन बोल रहा हूँ।
हाय, मैं हूँ आलिया भट्ट।
जब भी एम्बुलेंस का सायरन सुनाई दे तो हो जाए लेफ्ट, क्योंकि एम्बुलेंस फर्स्ट।
अब बकवास बंद, बदलाव शुरू।
एम्बुलेंस फर्स्ट के साथ साथ फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज ने जिम्मा लिया ऑर्गन ट्रांसप्लांट का और बनाया ग्रीन कॉरिडोर, जिसमें एयरपोर्ट से हॉस्पिटल का सफर जो घंटों का था उसे मिनटों का बना दिया। एम्बुलेंस फर्स्ट का डंका सिर्फ हिंदुस्तान में नहीं बल्कि न्यूयॉर्क तक बजा। रेडियो के ऑस्कर कहे जाने वाले न्यूयॉर्क फेस्टिवल ने एम्बुलेंस फर्स्ट इनिशिएटिव को 2 बार NYF अवार्ड से नवाजा। और फिर कैंसर सर्वाइवर्स की जिंदगी में बदलाव लाने के लिए फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज के साथ जुड़े युवराज सिंह।
फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज के साथ कैंसर सर्वाइवर की जिंदगी के बदलाव के लिए मैं युवराज सिंह तैयार हूँ। क्या आप तैयार हैं?
फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज ने वोटिंग परसेंटेज में किया बदलाव अपनी मुहिम ईच वन खींच वन के साथ।
नमस्कार, मैं हूँ फीवर RJ अमिताभ बच्चन। चुनाव का माहौल बना हुआ और मैं तो कहूँगा कि ईच वन खींच वन। जब मैं भी वोटिंग करने जाऊंगा तो किसी को साथ खींच कर लेकर जाऊंगा।
इंडियन आर्मी के साथ मिलकर फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज ने एक ऐसा जश्न मनाया जिसका शोर बॉर्डर पार पहुंचा।
मैं गौतम गंभीर।
मैं हूँ कर्नल VN थापर, कैप्टन विजयन थापर का फादर।
मैं हूँ मेजर गौरव आर्या।
फीवर FM के साथ मिलकर कहता हूँ,
इस कारगिल विजय दिवस मिलकर ऐसा जश्न मनाएंगे
कि शोर
बॉर्डर पार पहुंचे। जय हिंद।
जय हिंद।
जय हिंद। जय हिंद।
7 दिसंबर इंडियन आर्म्ड फोर्स फ्लैग डे पर फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज के साथ पूरे हिंदुस्तान ने मिलकर दिखाया अपना देश प्रेम।
मैं सिर्फ यही रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूँगा सारे अपने फैंस और लिसनर्स से, आप फेसबुक हो चाहे इंस्टाग्राम हो चाहे इवन ट्विटर हो, अगर आप अपना फ्रेम चेंज कर सकते हैं 7 दिसंबर को तो कहीं ना कहीं आप वो रिस्पेक्ट दे रहे हैं आर्म फोर्सेस को।
दिल्ली की बिगड़ती हवा और पोल्यूशन से एनवायरनमेंट को बचाने के लिए फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज लेकर आया प्रोजेक्ट ग्रीन हार्ट्स, जहां हमने दिल्ली NCR में लगाए 1 लाख से भी ज्यादा पेड़।
आप पहले 1 या 2 पेड़ों से शुरुआत करो और कोशिश करो कि उन पेड़ों को अपने बच्चों की तरह बड़ा करो।
पुलवामा अटैक इस मुश्किल की घड़ी में पूरे देश को शहीदों के परिवार से जोड़ रही थी एक वेबसाइट भारत के वीर। तो फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज के साथ मिलकर सुपरस्टार अक्षय कुमार ने फीवर 104 FM पर DG CRPF से कहा,
हेलो डी साहब शरद।
हाँ नमस्कार।
नमस्कार। अक्षय भाई मेरे साथ दूसरी लाइन पे।
नमस्ते जी। मेरे लायक कोई भी सेवा हो, मैं बोला पूरा देश आपके साथ है इस वक्त। अभी आई हैव जस्ट सेंट 5 करोड़ रुपीस टू भारत के वीर फ्रॉम माय साइड।
फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज ने शुरू की मुहिम #सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक से ब्रेकअप।
मैं तो सभी दुकानदारों से आग्रह करूंगा, आप अपने दुकान पर हमेशा बोर्ड लगाते हैं, एक बोर्ड ये भी लगा दीजिए, कृपा करके हमसे प्लास्टिक की थैली की अपेक्षा न करें।
और फिर पहली बार देश के किसी मीडिया हाउस की पीठ थपथपाने के लिए देश के प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने फीवर 104 FM के लिए ट्वीट किया। फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज के पिछले 5 सालों की ये तो बस एक छोटी सी झलक थी, लेकिन फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज की टीम जॉन एब्राहम के साथ कहती है, ये बस शुरुआत है, बदलाव अब भी बाकी है।
Hi guys, this is RJ Sulabha from 94.3 Radio 1 Chennai. You're watching 100 Hours, 100 Stars. So many legends sharing their life experiences with you. If you like what you're seeing right now, please like, comment and share. And of course, don't forget to subscribe.
Thank you for having me, and also thank you for being a fan for so long. I mean, I know you've been supporting me from the beginning, so I appreciate it.
So this is it. You dropped your brand new sounds, NRI, a couple of days ago, and we are absolutely loving it, completely vibing with it. I'm going to ask you to take me through that little conversation, so that the actual behind the story stuff. But first, how's it for you at the moment in the US of A? And how's the whole COVID-19 situation there? What's going on with you and your life?
Wow. We are like, I think I stopped counting. I think we're getting into the 6th week of quarantine now in LA. And, the first couple of weeks were obviously very scary. We didn't know like what, the quarantine was going to be. I was scared for my friends in India. We were scared here. We thought it was going to be locked down. But, it's been okay. The first couple of weeks, my dad was still working in the hospital. So I think that was really scary for me. But now, he's 69, so he's essentially retired, thank God. So that was really stressful for me because I was like, Dad, you're exactly the kind of people that are not supposed to be outside right now. So since my dad's been home, I think everything's been a lot more calmer. And in the streets, like people are able to go for essentials. People are socially distanced. And, there's definitely a different vibe on the streets if you do go out. I've been out maybe 3 times total just for buying some groceries and getting flowers, actually. I needed flowers. It was one trip, groceries and flowers. But yeah, it's been crazy, but I think people are mostly staying inside. There is like a little itching now in America to get out, and there's a lot of crazies, and I think some people are getting lax, but I really hope everyone sticks to it because I don't want us to all have to do this again. I want the quarantine to end.
Come on, we all do. I mean, this is like, the uncertainty, the anxiety, all of it is just, the entire city, the entire country has been in a lockdown situation for 5 weeks now in India. So we are hoping over this weekend that things would improve. And, they're talking about flattening the curve and all of that.
Yeah, I think it takes time, though. I mean, realistically, it's going to take some time. So, unfortunately.
For an artist like you, you're so lucky that you managed to shoot your video just before you took off. And you're so, lucky to actually manage to get it together and get it out, despite, the whole world and universe working against all our plans. So let's talk about NRI, your brand new sounds.
Oh my gosh. I mean, lucky is the best word to describe just the chance that we were able to complete this video. First off, like there's one half of it that's shot in LA, and I'm so thankful for my intense drive, I guess, that I was pushing myself through in 2019, because we didn't waste one opportunity. Like I was in Los Angeles for 5 days for the Grammys. One of the days I had to be in hair and makeup to shoot something in the morning. So I was like, oh, I'm in hair and makeup. We're not wasting this. So then I switched outfits, obviously, and I was like, we're gonna go shoot in the streets in LA. At that time, I hadn't even decided that I was going to put NRI out. But I was like, you know what? NRI needs half India, half America. I'm here. Let's just shoot this. So we shot in America, all the parts of the crown, maybe 1 hour the morning that I left back to India on this most recent trip. And it's insane because I only had 24 hours to prepare to leave India to come back to LA. I didn't quite prepare properly because I didn't bring all the things that I didn't bring any Maggi noodles. I didn't bring any Parle G, bring any dairy milk, and bring anything that I would need, through my quarantine. So I didn't prepare properly. But what we did do is shoot a music video in, the last 18 hours I was in Bombay before the quarantine. And it's incredible, a feat to my team that they pulled that together. We happened to have that sari in the closet. I was like, whoa, we just have this. So everything was just thrown together. And, I'm wondering now what it's going to be like to make videos post quarantine. I mean, we've come up with some ideas of like shooting in the house and like different concepts, but I'm just thankful that I was able to make that video, and also a video like Bindis and Bangles. Like I'm reflecting so much on that video and just realizing what a production level, quality, the amount of people on set, human beings that put their work into it, and how, we can't even gather like that now. So I'm just thankful that I pushed myself like a monster last year.
Oh, we're so glad he did that. To my Radio 1 listener who's just checked in, this is 100 Hours, 100 Stars, a non-stop tribute to COVID warriors across, our city, across our country. And to my Radio 1 listener, let me remind you that through this initiative, we are going to generate maximum donations for the PM Care Fund, which is a dedicated national fund with the primary objective of dealing with any kind of emergency or distress situation, like, of course, the COVID-19 pandemic. So please scan the QR code, click on the link, which you can see at the bottom of the screen, click on proceed to contribute once the window opens, and fill in your details, and please give generously. We really, really need to support the frontline emergency workers. We really need that money. So please donate generously.
Yes.
Back to our chat.
Okay.
You were talking about missing Parle G. You were talking about missing Maggi noodles. You were talking about missing, was it
there's things I really miss. Dairy milk. But I obviously miss Pani Puri. But the thing that's helping me through that is that nobody's having Pani Puri. So it's not like you guys are out there enjoying Pani Puri and I'm at home sad. So it's like, it's a shared pain right now. But dairy milk, you guys do have Maggi noodles, dairy milk, and Parle G, which I do not have. So.
But it brings me to your Indianness. It brings me to your Indianness, and that is what you address with NRI.
Yes.
So to talk to us about what went on behind the song, because you are a lyrical songstress, and I love the stuff that you put together, the things and the way you say things. So talk to us about about what the song is about and about the rap rhymes.
Yeah, I mean, in the greater sense, the song is about belonging to two different cultures and two different worlds, and maybe not feeling like you quite are accepted in either of them. And that's been an energy, an angst that has been behind my music. And maybe I haven't talked about it publicly as much. Like, people will ask me about it, but it was a big struggle in the last 5 years of me, working with a major recording label in America and trying to put out this music. My label deal was in America before, so it was based out of this idea of your Indianness is threatening to others, or people won't understand you based on your Indianness. If you could not wear a bindi in this, then we'd give more budget, or maybe America's not ready for an Indian person. This is not, it's not relevant. These are things I heard every day, even though I was turning back 700% growth on my socials. 700.
Right.
So I was so frustrated because I always felt like if you work hard and you put dedication in, then the doors will open. But that frustration always is there. And sometimes it even comes from my, people born in America that view what I'm doing and they want to flex their humanities degrees and talk about how I'm problematic and diaspora cringy. But the thing is, I'm just myself. I was raised to love my culture, and I think that our jewelry is the most beautiful. I think our fabrics are the most beautiful. I would prefer to drape myself in the grandeur of where my family comes from. And for some reason, some people think that I'm using my culture as a costume or a gimmick, and I'm not. And I think that maybe by being unapologetically who you are, it will make people question themselves and also question why they feel that way about someone else, and why they feel the desire to tell someone they don't belong to something that they do belong to,
Yeah. And I think you're speaking for a lot of the Indian diaspora, because a lot of them have sort of been in a kind of a limbo situation, either here, not there, but at the same time feel so Indian. And then, like you mentioned, you come to India and you get flack for being, not so Indian, and you go to America and you get flack for being Indian. So
but it works both ways. Like an NRI from who doesn't know anything, they'll call him ABCD, American born confused Desi. I want to flip that, American born cultured Desi. There's a difference, things can be different. And I feel like that's also unfair, because maybe somebody growing up in America, they didn't have the option to learn about their culture that way. Maybe their parents were working a lot and they didn't have time to expose them to classical Carnatic music or whatever inspired me. And maybe my work will inspire them to search into their roots and to not reject that side of them because they feel they should assimilate in order to survive, because I never assimilated, and I'm surviving and I'm thriving and I'm celebrating who I am. And every time I go home to India, I learn more about myself, and I urge others to do that and don't let go of one side for the other.
Right. Right. You've taken the journey, and I also know that you're very, very empowered in terms of being a woman, and an Indian woman at that. So, bindis and bangles and all of that. Can I get you to drop a couple of rap rhymes from that song?
From NRI or Bindis and Bangles? Which one would you like?
Bindis and bangles.
Let's go Bindis, because that's the female thing. Okay. All right. 24K, I'm on that real. Yeah, 10K, shit, that's my meal. I'm really talking rollies, talking about these rotis. They call me MTV because I just hustle on them roadies. Only coconut, we don't sip on codeine. 10,000 years, what the? You show me, because you don't really know where you came from. You don't really know where you came from. Daughter of the king, you could tell by my actions. I really make it happen, no acting. Fly like a ladder, genie on my back, got love for the South Asians, got love for my accent. Indian girl got love from the streets to the mansions. And it's the bindis and the bangles. We light it up like a candle. Yeah. Don't ask Kumari where your mango. We don't need no guns, wear my sandals. Yeah. We rockin' saris and Ferraris. Yeah.
I like that.
Sipping that Riva with that Marley. Don't ask Kumari where your mango. We don't need no guns. We don't need guns.
Yeah.
Your mom will beat your ass with a sandal.
Love it. So, talk to us about the phrasing. Talk to us about, working with that. And do you do a bit of both? Do you use your clearly use your Indian Carnatic heritage and all your training, and you bring it to your rap rhymes?
Yes.
So finding that meeting ground.
I think rhythmically, Carnatic music and classical, whatever inspiration, I was always kind of the tone and the rhythms and the vibe of the way that the words are kind of phrased and stuff. They're phrased like Indian music sometimes, but it's in English. And I think the lyrics have always I've always been excited to use like vernacular. Like anytime I could say something that I know people say in real life, especially something that comes from the diaspora or Indian culture specifically, because no one has ever really been like, I'm gonna put something Indian out to the whole world. They all like, they always want to change the name and hide the, heritage. And I don't, my name is intensely Indian, but yeah, no, it's fun to say stuff like send my Banjis over to Gandhi and now we feast, and that's, if anybody really listens to that kind of lyric, then it's me saying, yeah, I make my money in America, but all of it's to come back to India and make sure that my people feast. That's what's behind my lyrics, and that's the energy behind it. But I definitely work with a lot of incredible songwriters. Syra is one of the funnest rappers. She won a Grammy with Skrillex for a song that she did, and we've actually known each other for about, we've been signed to the same publisher for 8 years. So it was really like a homecoming in a lot of ways to work with both of them.
Right. And then hooking up with Mass Appeal, the label. Talk to us about that.
How crazy was that? Obviously Nas has been, investing in Indian hip hop. He signed Divine last year, and, he's been really, has his eye on what's going on. So, just being introduced to Mass Appeal, I was coming out of my situation with Sony, and, I was actually considering staying independent for a while so that I could have more creative freedom and, really do some new things. But like within a month of leaving Sony, I got in this conversations with Dave Raj, from Universal, and I met Peter, in Dubai, and we were able to really talk about, the possibilities for India in the future, and, working with, first getting the cosign of Nas, which is like, there's only a few OGs of hip hop, there's Nas, there's Jay-Z, there's Tupac, there's Biggie, and, there's Lauren, you can keep going, but Nas is there, in the top 5 of, so the fact that he, is supporting me, a lot of my haters and doubters or people that were confused about me in America that maybe wouldn't open the door because they said no one cared about an Indian making hip hop, they have to listen when Nas opens the door. So I feel like this is like a new chapter in my life where I don't have to fight against everyone as hard. And I'm really hoping for a new chapter and a new future and everything so far. I mean, today I opened up Spotify and I'm on the cover of the Spotify New Friday playlist, and it says listen to new music from Raja Kumari, Wiz Khalifa, and like usually that picture is Ariana Grande or it's Tinashe or somebody other than us in India. And the fact that my face is sitting there, it feels like a billboard. It feels like the biggest billboard on Bandra, like Reclamation or something.
I mean, such a cool hook. I am loving the vibe. I really am. I'm going to get you to give us to drop us a couple of lyrical rap rhymes a little later on. But before I forget to my Radio 1 listeners and viewers, actually, one more time, please. There's an initiative that we're requesting you to please donate generously. It's to the PM Care Fund. It's a national fund which goes for emergencies such as the COVID-19 pandemic. There's the QR code. Please scan it. Click on the link, which you see at the bottom of the screen, and make sure that you fill in your details. Proceed to continue. Please pay up. Please please pay generously, and please look after our frontline workers, our emergency workers. Most important, do that. Do that. All right.
I come from a doctor family, so I support this. They definitely need our help, and it's good that we're all. That this thing is changing what we consider essential workers. And I hope that after this ends, that we still continue to treat people with respect, because without the grocers, without the people that are picking up the trash, without this line of work, our whole society would crumble and fall apart. And I just feel like I hope everyone is getting perspective from this and having, empathy for, your fellow man. And I really hope that this, changes us as humans.
I have to ask you to give a shout out to all the young female rappers in the Indian. You're also part of Hustle, so you're really sort of into the game. You really know about what's going on in the scene here. So shout outs to all the up and coming rappers.
My femcs, man. Right before this happened, I was actually going to do an all-female cipher, and it got canceled. We were doing it for Levi's for Women's Day, and I was so excited and proud because I was bringing rappers from all over, all the females, and I feel like we never had that. So shout out to all my femcs. Please know that Corona's not going to take us down. I promise. I'm building an infrastructure for us. I want to see us, shining. There's no reason that there should be a set list. And it should be 99% males. Like, not in a country where the females obviously do many things better than the boys. And I would like to show that in music, we can also be the best. So I believe in this world. I need you to manifest it with me, ladies. I need it. So I want to see the boys all sit down while we win. That's it.
All right. So I'm going to ask you to wrap up with dropping a couple of rap rhymes from NRI, if you please.
Okay. All right. It's a little bit crazy. We'll start from the chorus and I'll go in the second verse because it's crazy talk. Okay. Trying to rep my people, but they say I'm not their leader. NRI up in the bleachers, feed up what y'all eating. Sorry that my sorry ain't Indian enough. In America, don't love me because I'm indigenous. Do you even know who you are? Tell me, what are you made of? What you afraid of? Hater, cause I let you tear me apart. Show you what I am made of. Is this what you're afraid of? Hater. Yeah, seen them on the comments. I ain't brown enough to comment. Guess I gotta get a tan so I can rep a country. Gave my daddy options. I don't rep y'all for the concept. Don't live here for the content. Trying to pillage off your struggle took me out of context. Bindi on your third eye, but the third eye closed. Got you on my back while you slit my throat. When I land here, they tell me go home. Now you ain't gotta love me, but it's still my throne. I feel like such a baby. It's still my throne.
Well. The crown wears the crown, that's for sure. Thank you so much for checking in with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
We're looking forward to having you back in the motherland real soon.
Soon as I can, straight to that pani puri. Hygienic.
That's right.
I'll see you for the bottled water pani puri, okay?
Yes, we'll have some Parle G for you on the side as well.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for joining us. 100 hours, 100 stars, a non-stop tribute to COVID warriors. Thank you so much. Thank you, Raja Kumari.
Thank you.
Bye.
जब सारी दुनिया कर रही थी बकवास, तब फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज की शुरुआत करते हुए रेडियो पर जॉन इब्राहिम, गौतम गंभीर और वरुण धवन ने मिलकर ये कहा।
हाय, मैं हूँ गौतम गंभीर।
हाय, मैं हूँ वरुण धवन।
हाय, मैं हूँ जॉन इब्राहिम।
फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज के साथ मैं कहता हूँ बकवास बंद,
बदलाव शुरू।
फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज का सबसे पहला इनिशिएटिव था नो MC, नो BC।
मैं जॉन इब्राहिम कहता हूँ,
मैं वरुण धवन भी ये वादा करता हूँ,
हम अपनी शहर की औरतों को जुबान से इज्जत देंगे,
यानी नो MC, नो BC।
उसके बाद मिशन तेजाब में कई एसिड अटैक विक्टिम्स की जिंदगी का रुख बदल दिया।
हाय, मैं हूँ आमिर खान और फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज एसिड अटैक विक्टिम्स को एक नई जिंदगी दे रहा है। मैं इसका स्वागत करता हूँ।
मिशन जुर्रत में देश के सारे पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट्स को एक साथ मिलकर कहा।
नमस्कार, मैं अमिताभ बच्चन बोल रहा हूँ। दिल्ली, बेंगलोर, कोलकाता और मुंबई पुलिस को बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं मैं देना चाह रहा हूँ। आप फीवर 104 FM मिशन जुर्रत का हिस्सा बने। ये बदलाव की बहुत बड़ी शुरुआत है और मेरी शुभकामनाएं आपके साथ।
जब कश्मीर में फ्लड्स आए, लाखों की तादाद में खाने पीने की सामग्री कश्मीर भिजवाई। हमारी इस कोशिश के लिए मिशन कश्मीर ने जीता गोवा फेस्ट में प्रेस्टिजियस एबी अवार्ड।
मैं और आप मिलकर फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज का अगला प्रोजेक्ट शुरू करते हैं, ब्लड बैंक 104। ब्लड बैंक 104। फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज के साथ मैं जॉन इब्राहिम ये वादा करता हूँ कि इस शहर में जब भी होगी खून की दरकार, तैयार रहेगा फीवर 104।
और फिर ट्रैफिक जैम की वजह से नहीं जाए कोई जान, उसके लिए हमने शुरू की अपनी मुहिम एम्बुलेंस फर्स्ट।
हाय, मैं हूँ जॉन इब्राहिम।
हाय, मैं हूँ गौतम गंभीर।
हाय, मैं वरुण धवन बोल रहा हूँ।
हाय, मैं हूँ आलिया भट्ट।
जब भी एम्बुलेंस का सायरन सुनाई दे तो हो जाए लेफ्ट, क्योंकि एम्बुलेंस फर्स्ट।
अब बकवास बंद, बदलाव शुरू।
एम्बुलेंस फर्स्ट के साथ साथ फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज ने जिम्मा लिया ऑर्गन ट्रांसप्लांट का और बनाया ग्रीन कॉरिडोर, जिसमें एयरपोर्ट से हॉस्पिटल का सफर जो घंटों का था उसे मिनटों का बना दिया। एम्बुलेंस फर्स्ट का डंका सिर्फ हिंदुस्तान में नहीं बल्कि न्यूयॉर्क तक बजा। रेडियो के ऑस्कर कहे जाने वाले न्यूयॉर्क फेस्टिवल ने एम्बुलेंस फर्स्ट इनिशिएटिव को 2 बार NYF अवार्ड से नवाजा। और फिर कैंसर सर्वाइवर्स की जिंदगी में बदलाव लाने के लिए फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज के साथ जुड़े युवराज सिंह।
फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज के साथ कैंसर सर्वाइवर की जिंदगी के बदलाव के लिए मैं युवराज सिंह तैयार हूँ। क्या आप तैयार हैं?
फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज ने वोटिंग परसेंटेज में किया बदलाव अपनी मुहिम ईच वन खींच वन के साथ।
नमस्कार, मैं हूँ फीवर आरजे अमिताभ बच्चन। चुनाव का माहौल बना हुआ और मैं तो कहूँगा कि ईच वन खींच वन। जब मैं भी वोटिंग करने जाऊंगा तो किसी को साथ खींच कर लेकर जाऊंगा।
इंडियन आर्मी के साथ मिलकर फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज ने एक ऐसा जश्न मनाया जिसका शोर बॉर्डर पार पहुंचा।
मैं गौतम गंभीर।
मैं हूँ कर्नल वीएन थापर, कैप्टन विजयन थापर का फादर।
मैं हूँ मेजर गौरव आर्या।
फीवर एफएम के साथ मिलकर कहता हूँ
इस कारगिल विजय दिवस मिलकर ऐसा जश्न मनाएंगे
कि शोर
बॉर्डर पार पहुंचे। जय हिंद।
जय हिंद।
जय हिंद। जय हिंद।
7 दिसंबर इंडियन आर्म्ड फोर्स फ्लैग डे पर फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज के साथ पूरे हिंदुस्तान ने मिलकर दिखाया अपना देश प्रेम।
मैं सिर्फ यही रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूँगा सारे अपने फैंस से और लिसनर्स से, आप फेसबुक हो चाहे इंस्टाग्राम हो चाहे इवन ट्विटर हो, अगर आप अपना फ्रेम चेंज कर सकते हैं 7 दिसंबर को, तो कहीं ना कहीं आप वो रिस्पेक्ट दे रहे हैं आर्म फोर्सेस को।
दिल्ली की बिगड़ती हवा और पोल्यूशन से एनवायरनमेंट को बचाने के लिए फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज लेकर आया प्रोजेक्ट ग्रीन हार्ट्स, जहां हमने दिल्ली एनसीआर में लगाए 1 लाख से भी ज्यादा पेड़।
आप पहले 1 या 2 पेड़ों से शुरुआत करो और कोशिश करो कि उन पेड़ों को अपने बच्चों की तरह बड़ा करो।
पुलवामा अटैक इस मुश्किल की घड़ी में पूरे देश को शहीदों के परिवार से जोड़ रही थी एक वेबसाइट भारत के वीर। तो फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज के साथ मिलकर सुपरस्टार अक्षय कुमार ने फीवर 104 एफएम पर डीजी सीआरपीएफ से कहा,
हेलो डी साहब शरद।
हाँ नमस्कार।
नमस्कार अक्षय भाई, मेरे साथ दूसरी लाइन पे।
नमस्ते जी। मेरे लायक कोई भी सेवा हो, मैं बोला पूरा देश आपके साथ है इस वक्त। अभी आई हैव जस्ट सेंट 5 करोड़ रुपीस टू भारत के वीर फ्रॉम माय साइड।
फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज ने शुरू की मुहिम #सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक से ब्रेकअप।
मैं तो सभी दुकानदारों से आग्रह करूंगा, आप अपने दुकान पर हमेशा बोर्ड लगाते हैं, एक बोर्ड ये भी लगा दीजिए, कृपा करके हमसे प्लास्टिक की थैली की अपेक्षा न करें।
और फिर पहली बार देश के किसी मीडिया हाउस की पीठ थपथपाने के लिए देश के प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने फीवर 104 एफएम के लिए ट्वीट किया। फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज के पिछले 5 सालों की ये तो बस एक छोटी सी झलक थी, लेकिन फीवर वॉइस ऑफ चेंज की टीम जॉन इब्राहिम के साथ कहती है, ये बस शुरुआत है, बदलाव अब भी बाकी है।
Hey, hi, this is RJ Yash from Fever FM Hyderabad, and I hope you're enjoying 100 Hours with 100 Stars. The list is great. We have got legends, we have got superstars, so just stay tuned. And if you like what you see, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe our social handles, and just stay safe.